Witam. Cześć Kasiu.
Cześć,
Hello.
kochana.
Hello from Bahrain.
Hello from London. Lovely to see you and
Very.
lovely to be on your Instagram.
You are most than welcome. It is always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Kasia, at the beginning, I would like you to introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Kasia Richter. I am open-minded and very well-traveled individual. My background is aviation and HR. And at the moment, I'm running my own consultancy called Deal with Culture, where I deal with communication, recruitment, and well-being.
Excellent. I am really sure that you are very excited in the same time watching what it's been happening in the airline industry, because it's in the same time it's very sad what's been happening, but it's very interesting for me to know and let's say to see how airlines will deal with the current situation with the COVID-19. And as today I've heard and I've read the news, it was more than 600 pilots from Emirates airline being laid off. What would you say about it?
Obviously, it's a very dramatic situation, and for an airline like Emirates that has been even during difficult moments that they went through in the last 20 years, they've been always helped out by the government. And this situation shows that, it is not the case, that Emirates will have to, deal with it just like any other airlines in the world are dealing. So either going through restructuring, redeployment of employees, or basically laying people off. So that might be the result, and we've seen that result with many other airlines all over the world, from New Zealand to Africa and Europe. So many airlines today. I think there is a strike of unions of Polish national carrier lot, because the situation is truly dramatic, and there's a lot of indicators that the airline can go busted. And the worst thing about it, the employees, the cabin crew, they are not being informed about anything. They just find out from media what is happening, what the board of directors of the company is doing. So it's really dramatic situation. I feel truly bad for people that have to go through that, because that creates a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. Actually, this situation this morning inspired me to write an article, and I will be most probably posting it tomorrow on my blog. And I found a very interesting research result, which indicates that the situation, being in a situation of job uncertainty, is comparable. The level of stress, the level of burnout caused by this situation is comparable with being unemployed for short term. So even if we still have a job, but we don't know what's going to happen, it still creates a lot of anxiety. And sadly, these days, a lot of people all over the world, from coming and working with different airlines, are going through that.
And since you wrote a book, Life After Flying, what would you suggest initially for cabin crew at this stage, what they could do, how they could prepare themselves for, let's say, the possibility of being laid off?
First of all, the best period, the best time for preparation is already gone. Because, in order to prepare for a situation just like this one that we're going through, you should have been doing all the things that I'm describing in my book. The second best time is basically now, because, you cannot change the past. You have to always focus on what you can actually change, and you can change your current situation, and you can influence how the future of yours, your future, your job future is going to evolve. So basically, first of all, you have to do a summary, see what you have to offer. What are your strong sides? What is your skill set? Where do you actually want to go with that? Which sector you want to work in? Which role you want to work in? So basically, doing like a nice audit of yourself, of your skills, and then doing another audit of what is happening in the market, because it's not gonna help too much if for example, somebody says like, oh, I want to be a cabin crew, and the reality is that the airlines all over the world are sucking cabin crew, so you have to be realistic and see actually what jobs are on demand, really following trends. A lot of cabin crew, I am in touch with quite a few of them, and I'm actually a little bit surprised that instead of really following trends, what is happening around the world, following the news, following the reports, case studies, which are going to help them actually, which companies are employing. They sit on forums on beauty tips and looking for hairdressers and makeup artists and how to do nails. For me it's a little bit a waste of time, but everybody has a choice. So I mean, obviously grooming and presentation skills are equally important, so maybe it's a little bit exaggerated, but
I was about to say, yes, exactly, maybe that's the case.
Of course, I hope it's a case. But yeah, basically making a plan, and the good news is you can do it all by yourself. That's why I created this book to be like a guide. If you are doing it on yourself, do it with a guide, with somebody using the experience, people like me who went through that. So then you can just tap into the experience of people who already have done through those steps. Another option is finding like-minded people. We're always stronger when we're in groups. So basically, if your colleagues are going through the same thing, brainstorm, do a mastermind, get together, find accountability partner, do things together, especially when you have a common goal. Sometimes people get anxious and they consider it as maybe not jealousy, but they are fearing of competition. It's like, oh, if we're be both applying for the job, I want to maximize my chances. I want me to get the job, not my colleague. But actually it's a wrong mindset to start with. There's enough job and things to do and money to make for everyone. So if you collaborate, you are on a winning position. And the third option would be to get into a mentorship program, to really work one-on-one with somebody that will accelerate your growth, your job transition, and change your situation even faster. So that's what I would recommend.
Thank you, Kasia. That was very helpful, actually. Now, taking into consideration the current pandemic, and we are here to talk about resilience, can you tell me what is the definition of resilience and positive mindset for you?
There are several different definitions if you look into the source and psychology. But overall, what is important is to know that resilience is about going through life, going through difficulties, no matter what, not stopping, not stumbling, not falling down and crying, but really moving forward. So basically, ability to bounce back if you fall down, if you lose your job, if you lose maybe somebody you love, if you're going through traumatic experience. Okay, there's period for grieving and for acknowledging these things that you're going through. But then there are the other steps that you have to do if you want to move, if you want to change your situation. So ability to lift up from your knees and move forward. That's what resilience is.
Now, what would you say, let's say, how to cope with all these obstacles and how to thrive during challenging times?
The role of hope is extremely important. That's why people have religion. That's why people develop spirituality, because it gives them hope. Because then they can have a perspective that there is the future and things will not last forever. Whether it's because God wants it this way, or they believe that things will basically change. So no matter what you believe, the important thing is that you have the hope. You have the hope for a positive future, and you are optimistic. The optimism really plays huge role in human life. It's really in affects our income level. It affects our health, both mental and physical. So it affects our overall well-being. How many friends do we have? How much support of social group we have? And so on and so forth. So everything is interconnected. If you are feeling down, if you don't feel like showing up, connecting with people, talking to people, making an action, you will just be stuck forever, and you will be feeling more down and down. So and the importance of resilience, of positive mindset, is to cultivate this positive thinking, this positive spirit inside you, so that you have the power to move forward. So that's what I actually started writing the article about this morning, and I'm thinking about the title, Master Your Mind Space Before You Look for a Job.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Exactly. It's as if you are doing, decluttering of, let's say, your mind space and your space in general. It's very important as well, right? Because it affects our well-being. So yes, I like the title, definitely.
Good. Pray so that I will finish it for tomorrow.
Kasia, now tell us, please, what helped you to go through all, let's say, difficult times, and if you could give, let's say, any personal tips.
Absolutely. I've been going through all different difficulties. Maybe I didn't lose a job. I was always pretty much resigning. No, once in year 2000, I lost the job. I was working in Warsaw for Colgate Palmolive, and the company decided to sack me. And then I took them to court, and I was like 20 years old. So,
Very brave of you.
That was pretty brave. But overall, okay, job is one thing, but then there are all other areas of life. And as you know, I've been in a very toxic relationship. I went through losing my mother. I went through several relocations. So all of those situations are potentially difficult. And what worked for me was a mixture of several things. Things like cultivating positive mindset. So basically learning how to quiet your mind when the mind tells you to do something that is just
how did you do that?
Actually, the positive thinking, the access consciousness played a huge role, because it's presented the tools in a very good way. But quieting your mind, and now, so I use it. I just talk to my mind. Like, for example, I sit down and I have like a task to do, and my mind is like, after 5 minutes, is like a impatient monkey, and he's like, oh no, let's go out and check what's in the fridge. Oh, maybe there's a chocolate left. Oh, maybe we should go for a walk or for a run, and I'm like, no, shut up, we've done yoga in the morning, now it's time to write article. Okay. So I really talk like this to my brain. Another thing is obviously the yoga practice. Yoga means also breathing practice and meditation. So the combination of those techniques taught me patience, flexibility, strength, which are all elements of resilience, by the way. Contact with animals. When I was in Bahrain, I was going to the stable, and I was just, sometimes I was going for a ride on a beautiful, coastline, or through the villages on the horse, or sometimes I was just going to the stable to be with the horses. I was like feeding them and cleaning them, just to be around, the energy that they had, which was very powerful. So that was there to what was accessible, but also whenever we have pets at home, we can see uh, how how peaceful they are, or how much fun they are, and can really learn from them. So being with animals, being with nature, that's all. These are all the elements that are really grounding, because the contemporary world is super busy, is super distracting, and the amount of stimuli is just too much for people to process and be healthy. So the importance of the time down, the relaxation, the self-care is absolutely huge.
Yes, correct. I find actually meditation very helpful for me, especially when I have very busy mind, or let's say I try to do it every morning because it helps me to focus, and let's say I can prepare myself better for the day, and they somehow go smooth. So and the moment actually, when I'm really busy with my work, I always make time, at least 5-10 minutes just to sit, in a quiet place and focus on my breathing and do some meditation. It's amazing, really, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of people maybe don't believe it, but as soon as you try, even
Unfortunately,
a few minutes, you will realize that it is
it
possible
makes a
to make a
huge
difference.
difference. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes. Kasia, tell us, what are you currently working on? Is there anything particular that you would like to share?
Yes, I am in the middle of assembling my first online course, so I'm extremely excited. The course is about building resilience, about building confidence, strength, and balance. In this course, I will be sharing the techniques that worked for me. So there will be yoga, there will be meditation, there will be guided meditation. There will be particular exercises coming from positive psychology that will help you build the positive approach to life. So it's a mixture of different techniques that I've been using myself, and I would like to share with others that can benefit from them. I think there will be around 20 or 30 different techniques, and it's not that you have to use all of them, because I got this feedback, and I actually wanted to put it as a subtitle of the course, and I was doing research, and I got the feedback. People were scared. They said like, 30 tools, I will never remember them. No, it sounds very overwhelming. I'm like, wow, that's a good feedback. Okay, let's not mention it's 30. So I don't know how many finally there's gonna be, but I think around 20 different tools. And they're simple. Some of them are exercises that take you as little as 1 minute or 5 minutes. So you can choose whatever is fun for you, whatever works for you, and then you implement it in your life. That's it. So I want to really minimize the theory. I don't really want to talk about how brain is functioning or what neuroplasticity is. I really want to give you just solutions. This is the tool. You just use it. This is how to use it. Just try, enjoy, and to change your life. That's what the whole point of this course is.
So do you think, let's say, the thing that the course is easy actually for everyone, is it the reason that it will make it different than other courses available?
Yes, that's I've done the research, obviously, and this is one of the strong points. That first of all is it's quite versatile. So okay, you will be introduced to different techniques, like for example yoga, and then different types of yoga. There will be a bit of a yin yoga. There will be relaxation yoga, like yoga nidra. But you don't have to do it if you don't like, because there will be enough of other tools, like different types of journaling or self reflection, that can really you just have to sit quietly with yourself and maybe do some writing. So there will be enough of different tools for everyone to find something for themselves. And I'm on every module. I'm just making a very short introduction about what is the background of this technique, and so that if somebody wants to search more, they can be referred there. But overall, this is the tool, and it is designed to be simple. It is designed to be your companion, whether you are driving the car and you want to listen to maybe some good affirmations to put yourself in a better mood, or maybe a gratitude meditation when you go to sleep, or maybe something else that you can do on your own. So I've done it based on my own experiences, on how I was using those different techniques, and I really hope they will work equally well for others, if not better.
Kasia, now let's say if you could tell us about your personal recommendations on mental health and well-being, on lifestyle, how to improve the lifestyle, what would it be?
Get rid of all the negativity that you can
How to do that?
identify in your life. So
it's easy said than done, I feel.
It is, but at the end of the day, it's a choice. Okay, if you, let's say, have friends or anyone in your environment that is dragging your energy, or that is really making it very difficult for you to function, then you try to protect yourself. You try to maybe change the interaction with this person. Maybe you can avoid this person, or maybe you can chat, just to find out what is the problem. And there's always a solution. And I had all sorts of situations like this with toxic people in my life. And some of them took longer time, because if you're, especially when you are in a close relationships with people, that may take longer. But I remember I had a boss in one of my jobs, and one day when I just exhausted every single other way of dealing with it, I assessed the whole situation, and I resigned, because my mental health was more important than this job. Because if you look at it, you have a huge potential, you have a huge experience, and there's no reason why you should be in a place which doesn't recognize it, which doesn't support you, but just puts you down. So getting rid of toxic people, toxic environment, and also toxicity in food, in whatever we intake. So look into your habits. If maybe you are consuming too much alcohol, or maybe you're not drinking enough water, it's just very simple things, but see what really supports you. And it's not easy because, our brain works in a way that is very resistant to change, because the primal point of view of functioning of the brain is survival. So if you want to, the brain is very comfortable with whatever it's known, whatever it's familiar, whatever we do every day. And if we are drinking wine every day because we're just used to it, because it's convenient for us. When you let's say want to do a detox, and when you want to stop and change, the brain will say like, no, this is what I'm used to, leave me alone. So you have to be stronger. And actually, the part of our brain that is responsible for this survival is much bigger and much older than the part of the brain that is responsible for, like, conscious reasoning and implementation of new solutions. So, it really requires a little bit of conscious work at the beginning. But later on, you develop the habit, the brain gets used to a new thing, and they're like, wow, it's really cool. So, I don't have to have wine. I can do something else to relax, for example. So, yeah.
Yes, that's very interesting actually, because you see, people have a lot of unhealthy habits and they are always coming up with the excuses, and they don't really feel strong enough that they could actually, let's say, quit, right? So it depends. It's a choice, it's a decision how much you want to change your life actually, because people they're thinking or they are talking about changing their life, but actually they are not doing anything, or they are, let's say, doing few changes for a few days and then they go back to the same thing. So this is really quite a challenging situation, but in the same time, yes, it's your decision how much would you like to change your life and your things, right? And it's uncomfortable, it's very uncomfortable. And this is, let's say, what I always used to say: you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because if you, let's say, the current situation doesn't make you happy, then you have to make that step. You have to push yourself to, let's say, to achieve something different, something better. And it's always something better. It's just once you make that step, it's definitely something better.
I think what is important also is to constantly have in mind and remind yourself about the outcome. Why are we doing it? Why, what will be the result of this change? So when we have that in mind, it's easier to go through that. And also teaming up with people. If we're going through, let's find people who have the same goals, who want to do the same things, because we're stronger as a group. Or even I've been running mentorship programs before, and one of the techniques I've been using there is the peer mentoring, which is basically you take two participants, or me and you, or whoever. Basically, we are mentors to each other. We are holding each other accountable. Let's say the goal is, okay, I'm running 3 or 5 or 10 kilometers a day, and then you meet up in the evening with your mentor, and you have to tell him or her, like, okay, have you been running? The mentor will ask you, have you done your run today? No. Okay, tell me why. And then you feel horrible when you have to explain yourself. So these techniques can really help when you have certain goal to do, and it's a great way of supporting each other.
Yes, that's correct. I think it's very important to, let's say, to choose the right people who can motivate you, who, let's say, who are there to support you, because we all have, let's say, weak moments. We all have, let's say, moments when we are tired or fed up. But of course, I'm not saying just quit. No, take rest. But in the same time, when you have a person who will, let's say, give you a positive push, it's very important, because sometimes, yes, I understand we might be alone. We have to support, let's say, ourselves alone. But it's always better when you have the other person right next to you. So yes, I think it's very important to choose the right people who can do that with you.
That's true. And another thing I want to mention, because sometimes, especially when it comes to relationships, and women tend to think that, I'm gonna change my life, and my life is gonna become better when I will meet the right guy. And it's a huge nonsense. It's not true, because it all starts from you. The way, you first have to become the person, with high energy, with positive vibes around you, because that will attract people on the same energy level, on the same vibrancy level. So you have to really start from yourself, work on yourself, clear up, all the dramas and traumas and toxic people from you. And only then you will really notice that, you are attracting other people around you. And I'm not talking only about personal relationships, but also, business partners, or employers, or whoever else you're searching for in your life. So you will be just in attracting different people. And the first step is to start from yourself, start working on your mental space, on your inner feed, and then you will be sending out signals to the right people who will who's gonna turn up in your life, and you will not even know when.
Yeah, that's very true. This is what I notice actually. The more you invest in yourself, in your growth and change, the better quality people you attract. And of course, it opens new possibilities and opportunities in the same time. So yes, this is very important to focus on your own growth, right? And you can do it, from any point in your life, wherever you are, if you truly want to do it.
Absolutely, it's never too late. And I observe all different groups, uh, from different countries, with people who want to do positive changes in their lives. And there was one I've recently seen, I think it was in Australia or New Zealand, and I've been looking at the people involved in that group, and all of them were like, in their 40s and 50s and 60s. They were really, mature people, willing to develop themselves, willing to change their mindset, and it's absolutely beautiful. So age has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, correct. There is actually a lot of factors, that you should not really think about it. You should just decide what you want. Let's say you should have a vision for yourself. And then if you truly believe in yourself, if you want to do it, I believe you will always make that change.
Yeah, that's very true. So I agree with that.
Kasia, now let's say if anyone who is watching us now, who will watch this video later, how, let's say, they can contact you if they have any questions or they need any advices, maybe mentorship, how people can contact you.
It's very simple. Deal with culture. So you go on my website, www.dealwithculture.com, and all the contact details are there. Also, all the links to social media I'm running are there. So whether it's Facebook, it's YouTube, it's Instagram, you can find me there and connect. I'm pretty much connected, apart from the periods when I'm doing digital detox myself.
Which is very important.
Absolutely. But overall, I'm available, and I'm happy to help.
Kasia, thank you so much for today. I think the whole information was very useful. And what would be the last word that you would like to say?
The last word would be yes, look after your mindset before you take any other action.
Yes, very important, actually, yes. Kasia, thank you so much for today once again, and good luck with everything. Good luck with your career.
Thank you so much, Edita, and hopefully see you soon. Yeah.
Thank you, Kasia. See you.
Bye.
Bye.